Hello everybody, my name is Steve Marchant and welcome back to my woodshop. I hope you've had a fantastic Christmas. I hope you've had a good New Year's celebration as well, such as we're allowed to. I'm sorry we're having to record in the rain again. This is England after all and it's winter time, so you're going to have to put up with the rain noise, I'm afraid. Today in this video we're going to be making a shelf. Nice, simple, really quick, really easy. Anybody can make it. I'm going to be using hand tools for this one. You can do it with power tools, you can do it with pretty much any set of tools. We're going to be using handsaw, screws, wood glue, sandpaper, and a set square. And a pencil as well. And we'll use some clamps to clamp the glue together as well. Okie dokie, like I said, this is going to be super quick and simple. You can do this entire project with just a handsaw, some glue, clamps and some screws. That is all you need. You can use the miter saw if you like, you can use the band saw even, any kind of saw. You can use a table saw, that's a bit overkill, but you know. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is and use a handsaw just so I can demonstrate how easy it is. Anybody can do this, but it's such a good space-saving thing you can do for free. You can put anything on these shelves. You get some wider pallet boards to, like I've got, and put bigger things on there. But if you just want somewhere to put your paints, your glue bottle, little tools, the shelves are invaluable. So let's get started by cutting off the end bits here so we can get rid of these screw bits. I don't want my shelf being this wide, so I'm just going to cut it down how I want it. If you've got a square, fantastic. If not, you might struggle with the brackets because they do need to be square to one another. But anyway, let's cut this end piece off, just like that. Clamp it down. Do that again on the other side. Ooh. And obviously you just measure it as wide as you want. I'm doing it randomly. This shelf probably won't go up anywhere because I'm not doing it just for a demonstration. So I'm going to put my Morita. Okay, so now that's the first step complete. We've got a board that's going to be the top part of our shelf that things will sit on. So the second part, the brackets, is going to be a piece of wood that is thinner than the top shelf, otherwise the brackets will stick out forwards and it'll just look a bit crap. So what we want to do first is get to your shelf here and then just measure like that, so we know where the shelf bracket is going to come to, and then we can just draw a line underneath there. And there we are. So just double check that line with the square and it looks good. Clamp this one down. Like I said, this is so much easier, quicker on the miter saw or table saw, band saw, whatever. But I'm just demonstrating that you can do this very easily with a handsaw. Simple projects like this, They really don't require many power tools. You can have a very basic bare minimum tools and it will do just as good a job, and you can say, hey, I made that completely by hand. So we've just got to repeat that process 3 more times. Now, because this pallet wood is going to have some imperfections, to say the least, that's putting it nicely. So this one's got a bit of a chunk missing here, so I'm just going to flip it over. And instead of measuring it against the board, just line that up and draw the line that way. Cool. Now, if you're going to use a reference piece like this, or one you've already cut, it's a good idea to keep the very same reference piece to reference all the other parts. Because, if I cut this one and it's a couple of millimetres longer than this, and then I use that one to mark off the next piece, and that's a couple of millimetres longer, then the final one, the fourth one I'll cut, will be noticeably bigger and it will just look silly. So keep the original one as the reference piece, and then if they're all only a millimetre or 2 bigger, we can live with that, can't we? So I'll keep this one here because I know it is a reference. So do this another 3 times. And there we are. We have 4 equal sized brackets. To go on here. And basically what the bracket will look like is this. So now, it doesn't look particularly strong, does it? So we know that gluing up on the end grain isn't as strong because the end grain of the wood absorbs the glue. So what we need to do is to make a couple of triangular pieces that will fit along here to then brace that L-shaped bracket. So not only will we have a glue joint which is fairly strong, just not as strong as it could be, we will have the triangular brackets to support those as well, and they'll be glued, and if you want to you can screw them or nail them in as well for that extra bit of support. If you're using pallet wood like this, make sure you pre-drill the holes with a nail and a screw, otherwise it will split. So let's cut some triangles out. We only need 2 of these, and luckily our square comes with a diagonal. So what you want to make sure is that you have a right angle, so 2 of them have to be straight and square to each other. Probably do this the other way around. If you can see on this is where the imperfection is. So this one isn't exactly straight, is it? So if I turn that around and make sure I cut that way, then this is more square. Do that. once this is cleaned up a bit, we get rid of these splinters. That's it, flush with on there, like that, and give it that extra bit of support. Now you notice because the wood is shorter on this bottom piece, because obviously this piece of wood here is taking some of its length, we're going to have to just chop the end off here so it's flush with there, so it'll give it just a little bit of extra classiness. Well, not really. So right, let's cut the other triangle. So again, I'm just choosing this end here because this one's got a big old chip out of it. So I'm using these two sides, which means the diagonal will have to go this way. Right, going to finish with this piece of wood. Whoa! Okay. Good old pallet wood. Right, let's just tidy up this section a little bit. And what we're going to do now is mark off the end piece here where it hangs. You can do it a bit more if you want as well. So if I just put a pencil line there. And you don't have to be terribly accurate with this. Because it doesn't add anything or subtract anything from the overall structure of it or its purpose. There we are. Now I'll do the same with the other piece. So, by all means, you can leave it as it is now. It is perfectly serviceable. You might catch a splinter from it every now and again. But as it stands, it is a shelf. You can stick it up on a wall after we've glued it and screwed it together, obviously, and it will work out just fine. But what I want to do is give it a bit of a sand over and make sure it's smooth and I'm not going to hurt myself on it, and it just looks a little less messy while we're doing pallet wood. And in the spirit of doing this all by hand, I've got an old broken sanding belt, just 40 grit, just to smooth out all the roughness, and I'm going to do it by hand. Okay, so now it's time to glue it up. Here wood glue. Smush it down like that. So there we are. So that's the glue applied. You can clamp it up. Once it's clamped, you can drive some screws in there. Like I said, be very careful because it's pallet wood. This sort of stuff is quite thin. and it could easily split. So I'd recommend using nails, and if you want to do that, wait for the glue to dry first. But I'm going to clamp this up now. So first of all, we clamp up the butt joint part of it. So if you do one either side and leave a little gap in the middle, you'll see why in a second. One about there. Oops. And then one about there. See some glue squeeze out. And this part in the middle here, hopefully we'll be able to fit a clamp in between. So if we put the clamp right on the bottom corner here, that's not going to work, is it? Because that's... there we go. Put a clamp on the bottom corner. That should do about right. And one there like that. There we go. Glue up complete. That's one sorted. I'll quickly glue up the other one, and then once it's dry, we'll drive some screws in there or nails just to give it that extra strength. Okay, so the only thing left to do with this project really is drill some holes into this side here for the screws to go into the wall, and then mount this on top, and that's pretty much it. Job be good one. So we'll get a drill and a drill bit, and we'll just put some holes into there like that. Get some suitably long screws. That's probably a bit too short. And there we are. Right, time to stick it on the wall then. Okie dokie. So the trick here really is to get one of these on with one screw, so then it can pivot, whatever. So I want to go in there, so my scissors can still... I can move those scissors, can't I? Take these scissors off. So we stick it right about here. Take that away. Drive one of these screws in here. There we go. So as that has only got one screw on it, you'll be able to pivot it like so. And then when you put this on, you can stick a spirit level on the top and make sure it is level. Like that. Then we can put our other one this side and drive another screw. And then we can put the other screws in because we know it's level. And there we are. That is all there is to it. Depending on what you're going to have on here, you can secure these this plank into the brackets there so it doesn't move. If it's something extremely heavy, not that I would trust this to have anything extremely heavy on it, you can make another bracket to go in the middle just to support it. But other than that, it's good. You can put stuff on, look. I mean, wow! It's extraordinary. And look, pieces of wood can even go on. It's amazing! Righty, and that is all there is to this video. I wasn't actually expecting to keep this one here. I didn't expect to keep it, but it's helping me keep things off of the table, and this isn't going to be how it's going to stay. I'll reorganise it and things like that. But for a super simple, quick and easy shelf for your workshop, easy as that. And just imagine how much quickly it will go with power tools. If you use a miter saw, it will be way more accurate than, well, for me anyway, doing it by hand. It'll be a lot quicker. With the brackets as well, chopping them up, you can set up a stop block on your miter saw, and you'll be able to chop those 4 pieces for the bracket super easy. And it'll take you probably half an hour, 20 minutes to do. All in all, this project took me just over an hour. That was with the recording, that was with doing it with hand tools. And don't feel like you have to be limited to just pallet wood or the simple design that I've just shown you. This is a very easy base for you to create anything out of. Any design you want, you can router the edges of the wood, you can run it through your table saw, plane it and make it look really pretty. You can use a router bit to run a profile along the bottom. The little triangle pieces here, you can probably see these a bit better. You can make those into a shape. You can router those as well. You can cut a little shape out of the middle using the scroll saw. You can make it your own, absolutely make it your own. Give it as a gift to somebody. If somebody wants some shelves putting up in their house, you can say, aha, do you want better? We can make one and you can input your own design to it. A fantastic, fantastic little project to do. Shelves, everybody needs shelves. Every workshop needs shelves. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one. Like I said, quick, simple, easy. Anybody can do it. My 5-year-old could probably do it. And again, have a great new year. Hope you had a good Christmas. And I'll see you in the next video then. Bye bye everybody, thanks for watching.